Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So I want to talk about how I scaled from 0 up to 52 units, and at one point I owned 90 units of real estate. So kind of starting back, I graduated pharmacy school back in 2013 with $250,000 of student debt. So I literally spent 2013 all the way to 2017 just focusing on paying off student debt and saving up my first down payment on my single family home. So after I paid off my student debt and I saved up about $8,000, I bought my first property in Livermore, California. It was $800,000. I put 10% down. My interest rate was 4%. And what I did was I lived in the master bedroom. I rent out the other rooms. And that gave me about $3,000 a month, and that covered the mortgage. So I just had to cover the property tax, the insurance, the HOA, the utilities, whatever maintenance I had to do, right? So I did that from 2017 all the way to 2019, where I did the same thing. I bought a duplex in San Francisco, 10% down. I rented out the bottom unit to 4 college students, and I rented out the upper unit. I lived in the master bedroom and rented out 2 rooms in the upper unit. So what I did was I collected around $5,400 a month. I just had to cover, once again, utilities, property tax, insurance. So, my mortgage was covered. So that reduced my living expense significantly. So once I moved into that property, I rented out my Livermore property completely to one tenant. I didn't want to do the rent by the room model because it required more work, had more turnover, and you have conflict if you're not there. So it wasn't for me. Just wanted to rent out the whole unit. So I basically did that, and in middle of 2020, during the heart of COVID, I relocated to Southern California, which is where I'm at today, and I had the intent of I bought a property, another one, 10% down. I rented out my last 2 properties, once again, completely to tenants. I rented out my duplex, plus I rented out my Livermore property. And I bought another property in Lake Forest, California with a big lot. So my intent was I wanted to rent because I wanted privacy. I had my girlfriend, now fiance, soon to be wife, and basically wanted more privacy. So I didn't want to rent out rooms anymore. So what I wanted to do was I bought this house on a big lot, and I wanted to build a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 700 square foot ADU in the backyard, and also convert the garage to a junior ADU. So I had the option of living in the garage to rent out the main house and renting out the back house, or I can live in the back house, which is bigger, and rent out the studio and the main house, right? But I ended up not doing any of that because I just thought, well, instead of taking $250,000 to build all that, I just can take that $250,000 and go buy an apartment complex and scale faster. So that's exactly what I did, right? So in 2021, I bought the Lake Forest single family home, which I wanted to do ADU, decided to pivot, bought my Huntsville, Alabama single family home with 25% down, which cash flow is about $800 a month. And so that was amazing. But once again, I was like, I want to scale faster than that. So once I learned about multifamily real estate, I was like, this is what I want to go into. So at that point, I think it was August of 2021, or early 2021, I started sending out a bunch of direct mailers to get my first 26 unit apartment complex deal, right? This is what I teach in my mentorship in my course is I'm really big on direct mail and getting off market deals. So basically sent out a letter, owner reached out to me for a 26 unit apartment complex, and basically how I funded the down payment as well as the renovation cost was what happened during COVID. Interest rates dropped. So I did cash out refinances. I lowered my interest rates, and I was able to strip out the equity from my 3 single family homes that built up equity over time in 2017 and 2019, right? So those properties appreciated by $400,000 to $500,000 each. So I was able to do a cash out refinance on multiple properties, pull out over $1 million tax free. But keep in mind, because the loans are bigger than my other properties, now they're cash flow negative, which is the downside, right? So, but I can afford that because I was working at W-2 as a pharmacist. So my W-2 salary would cover the negative cash flow, but now I'm tied to my job, right? So that's the pros and the cons. But I took that $1 million and I bought my 26 unit apartment complex, funded the renovation, which was around $300,000. And what I did was I was able to, raise the rents from an average of $350 up to $750. And if I was able to increase the net operating income, so assuming the cap rate stays the same, I almost doubled the value of the apartment complex, right? And now this property cash flows, I think on average about $7,000 to $8,000 a month, which covers a negative cash flow of my single family home portfolio, right? But generally speaking, you don't want, we call them gators, like properties that are eating into your cash flow. They should at least break even or ideally make some money, right? So that's kind of the mindset. So I bought this 26 unit, and then using that same money I stripped out from my single family homes, I bought a 90 or 200 lot mobile home park in Selma, Alabama, which I ended up selling for a loss because, I have whole videos talking about that. And then that was end of 2021, and then middle of 2022, I bought another 20 unit apartment complex using direct mail, and I bought this one for about $350. And I renovated this property, and once again I funded the renovation and the down payment using the equity I pulled out during my cash out refinance, right? And this 20 unit apartment complex ended up doing a huge burr on it, so I was able to pull out like maybe $100,000 out of $200,000 that I put into the deal. So that's kind of how I did it and structured it, right? Is I took out the $100,000 that I put out half the money, right? So, and I was able to pull out half because interest rates went up. So if interest rates go up, cap rates went up, which lowered the value. So the appraised value was less. I was only able to pull out less money. But when interest rates lower and cap rates lower, then the value will go up. I can cash out refinance, pull out the rest of my money, right? Because I don't want to pull out too much money. I just want to pull out the money that I put in the deal, right? And then I kind of skipped my mobile home park, but I put a lot of money in the mobile home park, like probably about $500,000. And, when I sold it for a loss, I had to carry a note on that property. So, I'm carrying a $450,000 note on it, and I'm getting paid about like 5-6% on it, not too much. But, hopefully when they finish their strategy, they'll get a lender on it, and then I can get my $450,000 back. That would be the most ideal situation. So, and then, I own my primary residence today. And, now I'm kind of looking at like short-term renting one of my bedrooms I have a 3-bedroom townhouse that I live in, and I want to like Airbnb out one room just to try it out, to give me a little exposure to Airbnb and short-term rentals and midterm rentals. I had never really delved into that because I was just so focused on scaling multifamily long-term rentals, but want to test short-term rentals, midterm rentals in my home. And, maybe if I can rent a room by $1,000, and if I do short-term rental, maybe I can get double that, right? And then I can help cover some of my mortgage and, hopefully not be too inconvenient. And if I don't like it, I just can stop, right? They're not committed. It's just, short-term rental, Airbnb. So when I try that, I'll keep you guys posted on that. But as you can kind of see through my journey, like in the beginning, it was really slow, right? Like I spent 2013 and 2017 saving for a down payment. 2017, I bought my first house, waited about 1.5 to 2 years to buy my second house. And then I waited about another 1.5 to 2 years to buy my third house. But then at that point, I built up a lot of equity, pulled that out, bought my fourth house, bought my 26 unit apartment complex, 200 lot mobile home park, 20 unit apartment complex, ended up selling my mobile home park. And then now I bought my primary residence that I live in, right? So like kind of for like a total of 52 units. So, that's how I kind of scaled over time. So its growth is very linear, or it starts off very slow and stagnant, and it becomes exponential later. Right. And I was able to use the equity from my single family home portfolio, combine with my W-2 job to strip that out, have great interest rates, but use that to go buy more real estate. Like I said, the downside now is my single family homes have negative cash flow. So, what I'm thinking of doing is selling off the one of the most negative cash flow, take that equity, right, and then pay off my primary residence to wipe out my my loan and wipe out my $5,500 a month mortgage. Right. So it's a double win. Like not only do I lose a cash flowing piece of real estate, so I'm not dependent on my job, but also I wipe out my mortgage. So let's just say I'm negative $2,000 on this property. Right. So if I sell that, I take the equity, pay off this house. So I'm not negative $2,000 anymore. Plus I wipe out my $5,500 a month of mortgage. So I am like saving about $7,500 a month. So I'm not as tied to my W-2 job. And if I were to, and then my insurance, HOA, utilities, about $2,000 a month. But if I was a short-term rental in one of my rooms, I could probably get $2,000 a month. And there you go. I can live here for free, right? So that's how I want to do it, because I want to set myself up where I can slowly transition out of my W-2 job. So sadly, I might have to sell some real estate, right? But for now, I work. I don't mind having that cash flow negative real estate. Actually, I could argue that my apartment complex, my 26 unit, my 20 unit, and my note payment cover the negative cash flow. But still, I just don't, it's not good to scale with negative cash flow real estate. There's a lot of equity in there. So like I said, I might just cash it out. I can do 1031 exchange if I want to buy another apartment complex. I have an 80 unit apartment complex in Oklahoma City that I'm looking at right now, which I could 1031 exchange into. But at this phase, if I want to step away from W-2 and start the family plan, it'd make more sense for me to like sell it, pay off this house. I know it's illogical, doesn't make sense, but it's sleep well at night money, right? Money wants to give you options. I don't want to be tied to a W-2. And if I wipe out negative cash flow real estate as well as my mortgage, that gives me the option to not have to work a W-2, right? Especially when I have kids and a family. So sometimes you got to take a step back to build a foundation to then scale forward, right? Because I know when I'm ready, I can buy like a 40 unit, 80 unit apartment complex. I just need the money, right? And need to be in the right situation. So I'm trying to lay that foundation for me to step over to W-2 while building multiple streams of income as well. Like between my coaching, we're going to Airbnb one of our rooms and become like me and my fiance will become realtors or brokers, and maybe YouTube will blow up. I don't know. But anyways, that's kind of how I scaled to 52 units. Like I said, it's very slow. It's very gradual. You just do little steps every day and it compounds over time. Like nothing I said was that special. Like, besides that, I was able to do a large cash out refinance and use it to go buy a bunch of multifamily real estate. So, hopefully it's answered your question. Let me know if you have any questions on this. If you want to learn how to buy multifamily real estate with some guidance, check out my mentorship program down below. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.